to write?
I'm writing a book. I've been writing a book for about 3 years now.
A book.
A book. A novel.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that?
How is that?
How's writing?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard. You know, it's like, it's a whole, it's like, it's hard to almost call writing like an art. It's like it is like a task. It's interesting how to describe it. Like, it is an art because you're being creative.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, there's such a critical element to it that it's not the same part of your brain that's like painting in a way, maybe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, maybe that is actually. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I've always tangled with like what it is exactly, you know?
What's the hardest part about it, do you think?
I think probably the idea of getting an idea right on paper. Having the idea of a scene, for instance, or like a social dynamic, let's say, between 2 people or 3 people, and being able to illuminate the intricacies of that social dynamic with the writing. You know?
Yeah. That's
hard to do because you're like reading it and then you have something that you wrote, like, let's say months ago, and then you read it again, you're like, no, it's not working that way. So then you start to think like, oh, is that how the rest of the writing is? You know, you can feel it, and it's like a kind of rhythm. You know, you're like, oh, I had a good day of writing, where it's like, this all feels really good. It feels good enough. You know what I mean? It feels like what I was trying to say, or feel like what I was trying to express.
What kind of stuff are you writing?
I
don't want you to give away anything that you're writing, but like,
yeah, the book is called Paradise.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a coming of age story, but I would say they're more in their mid-20s overall, and there's also kind of an older character, and it's playing with the symbology of the burning of Paradise, California.
Okay.
Yeah, it's playing with that. It's interesting. I went with it was just weird. Like, it came to me like all of a sudden as like, oh, this is the thing I'm going to write about. I don't know why, but it was like the whole entire symbol, like the symbolism of it was just like too good to pass up. Because I was like going to my buddy's place in Chico, and we're going to go drive down to San Luis Obispo and hang out with our friends down there. And I drove past Paradise. And it was like,
it's just dirt.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man. And it's called Paradise.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, Paradise
It's
lost,
I know it's very
burnt. It's it's like deeply rooted in you. You know what I mean? It's like there's something about it that just is like soul moving, you know, where it's like, fuck, man, this place called
Paradise Fires. Yeah,
exactly.
We all remember it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's just like you're playing with that symbolism. And, you know, it's kind of like a coming of age story, and I'm really trying to write it as like a very like modern feel to it. I want to make it as modern as possible, you know, because I like the books that do that when they're trying to get to a modern sensibility. You know what I mean? Because every generation has a different sensibility to it.
What's an example of like an older sensibility, or maybe a newer sensibility? So I can, are you saying just like the things that the people in the book are doing,
the way they're talking, the way they feel about the world, the way they feel about each other, the social aspect of it? It's different decade to decade if you really look at things. You know, if you read these books, like it's different. You know, I think what's an example? Well,
like I don't read really like fiction.
Well, The Great Gatsby,
like at all. So this is very like interesting to hear. Like the only fiction book I can think of that I've read recently was Animal Farm.
Okay, that's kind of an example. That's very much an intentional kind of fiction.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the best.
No. I'm saying
no. Nah, dude. Listen.
But I'm saying like I have no idea what the freaking heck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So
Animal Farm is good though.
Yeah,
Orwell is fucking brilliant. Yeah. But I would say like Hemingway, The Sun Also Rises. You know, it's just like it's It's like a bunch of. It was like a huge hit at the time. I'll say The Great Gatsby. You've read The Great Gatsby?
Fuck no.
No, you didn't read that in high school?
No.
What'd you read in high school?
Life of Pi, book on tape.
Life of Pi?
Yeah.
That's what you read in high school?
Yeah, one of the books.
What else?
Fahrenheit 451.
I've never read that book. That's what's his name again?
Ray Bradbury.
Ray Bradbury. That's right.
Yeah, listen to me, fucking scholar.
I almost said
dude.
Roald Dahl.
Yeah, Roald Dahl. Yeah, we read a lot of
Fair
Roald Dahl. Charlie and the Chocolate
Charlie in
Factory.
the like 12th grade.
Yeah. Book on
like
tape.
The Twix.
Yeah, what else did we read in high school? They tried to make us read Shakespeare. I think Macbeth.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
Yeah.
this is stupid.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
And I cheated in senior year English.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I don't really want to say on here.
Oh, okay. Fair
I'll
enough.
tell you after.
Okay.
If we remember.
Yeah.
But
Dope.
yeah, cheated, and just
Sweet.
like everybody, unless you're a fucking nerd,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. You ain't cheating. You ain't trying.
Yeah,
Kids.
kids. Yeah, English. I was not my shit at all back then. I didn't really have like a subject.
The
in high
language?
school. Yeah, big time. Fucking dick. But yeah, like I was not a good student.
Uh-huh.
I got 1 D. And it was in Spanish in high school. So I do pride myself on only having like 1 and not a C.
That's good.
But I got A's in choir and guitar. So
Yeah, you kind of proved everybody.
yeah, I don't need to be here.
Yeah.
I'm like one of those special kids that needs to go off to like the X-Men school.
You got
And play.
the A in choir.
Uh-huh.
You're in choir?
Yeah.
Really? What were you?
Baritone, I think.
Okay.
Pretend like I remember what that means. But yeah, I was an alto. I was an alto tenor. Yeah, I was a baritone. But like my buddy Aiden, who's actually a pretty good singer, he was in it for years.
Oh, cool.
And so I just was like, yeah, I'll take it with you. Like,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. And then guitar class was always like
Dope.
dumb until they tried to make me read music. And I was like, yo, I don't know how to read music. Like, I'll just learn how to play Green Sleeves. Like,
Yeah. Good song.
smart song, dude.
Kind of a banger, dude.
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
It's a slappy. Honestly.
But yeah. What were your subjects in school? What were you good at?
Nothing.
Really?
I was not a great student.
No.
No.
Why? Didn't care? Or you just weren't good?
Good question. I didn't know how to like learn.
Good. Okay. Now we're really getting to the root of all everything.
I didn't know how to learn. I did not know how to learn.
That's interesting. I think now that you said that, I don't think I did either.
Yeah.
Like I almost like wanted to. Like I definitely had like the subjects that were appealing to me. But then anything beyond like surface level where I have to do any sort of reading in a textbook, any sort of homework, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm fucking out. I'll
Yeah.
watch a PowerPoint. I'll watch a slideshow. I'll watch the teacher do it.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that I was a C's kid.
yeah.
I was a C's kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's just the way it was. I don't know. Yeah, I think also like school really tailors itself to people who just have good memories.
Yeah.
Like that's essentially it.
Totally.
But the thing about it though is that if you have a good memory, you also can process that information. But the memory thing is huge. Like you just have people that were like not
Good
pay
at taking
attention.
tests.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like they just remember everything.
Yeah.
You know, that's really not how most people are.
No.
You know, so it caters to that. What's hard though? It's like how do you make curriculum that is not memory based when you're trying to like
Assess
take
somebody-
in a lecture or whatever and then put it on paper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a week and a half later, let's say you write down your notes. It's only as good as your notes, etc. So yeah, but I was not a great student actually, I was a good student when I was younger.
like middle school,
No.
elementary,
Kindergarten.
daycare.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was a good student then. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. It got worse and worse and worse. It was kind of like the inverse bell curve where it was like good here, and then all of a sudden it got shittier
Just
and shittier,
really
and shittier,
bad.
and shittier, and then really shitty. And then like junior college and then up to college and everything, it got better and better and better, pretty much.
I think that's something to say just about where people are on
Yeah.
like the spectrum of how they're aging or like how
Yeah.
you know your brain and stuff like your brain and stuff. You ever heard of it? But like when you're in high school, like your brains aren't fully developed. Like
No, definitely not. And you shouldn't be making decisions on what you're going to be when you're fucking 17 years old.
Yeah, that's...
You don't know. Even when you're...
know.
Dude, even when you're
I don't
20,
even know
even when you're
now.
22, 23, 24, like, you're young and you can be involved in something, but that's also your punishment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm going to be in finance. I've known since I was 15.
Yeah. Wrong.
All right.
Good one.
Cool. Have fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. People usually don't learn that way. They learn through trial and error.
Yeah.
They need to promote that a bit more. And I think they are now, actually, because we have a girl that works at our firm that she is in high school and she's like interning at our firm.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's hella good. That's exactly what it should be. And like the first few years of college should be that also. Go intern at a job, make like less than minimum wage, right? And try some shit. You know, try different occupations. Sit there in the office and watch them and listen to meetings or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the real world. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think it's also like, you know, there's always that conversation about college where it's like, oh, it's going to help you finish tasks. It's going to keep you on. It's like, bro, the number one thing that is the biggest motivator for people is financial incentives. That's it. If you're paid money to finish a task at a time,
You're going to finish that task.
you're going to finish that task. Yeah. Period. It doesn't help you structure. Like, you know how many people like don't have structured lives when they finish college or high school or whatever the case is, right? They don't have anything structured. They just procrastinate and they just skate on with C's, and yet they still can be successful. You know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, the calculus of that doesn't make any sense, right? Because you're saying, oh, well, you need to be structured to be successful in a job, and yet all these people that were unstructured, like, maybe they're a little more structured in their job because they have to be, but they're not like exponentially more because they did advanced and paid, you know, $100,000 for college. No.
Yeah, like when I was done with high school, you know, it was like, oh, go to Sierra College. That's what everybody does. And so I did it for like half a semester. And I thought astronomy was a really cool class.
Yeah.
And my guitar class was way over my head because, again, we were trying to learn music. And I think I had an anthropology class, which I fucking hated, which is interesting now because I'm actually kind of into that. I like reading about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But yeah, it's like maybe the timing just wasn't just right.
Yep.
And so then I stopped, and then I just worked for like 2 years. I worked 2 jobs, and I made some money, and it's like, you just don't know what you want to do. Like, I knew that I could work, and so I just worked. Yeah, and I didn't go to like a college.
Yeah.
Per se.
And you need to, you know, you also need to build your confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
find out what you're good at.
Find out what you're good at, or
niche?
what you're interested in.
Yeah.
What do you like? And so, you know, they have these things in college where it's like, oh, you have all these electives. It's like, yeah, but maybe I don't like this thing. You know, like you need to play a part more in the real world than I think. Like, the thing about college is that it's just this 4-year vacation at this point now.
It's just like high school too.
It's just like high school too. It's like general education is a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. First 2 years, general education. Why? What do you?
I don't know. Like, is it?
No, you're trying to get money. You're trying to sell the idea that you need 4 to 5 years of college education in order to be able to go out into the workforce and be a functioning member of society. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's been disproven so many damn times, and it's still pushed. That's a fucking lie. Yeah. It's not true. It's just not. You don't. And the thing about it is that you can mold somebody to fit a certain job occupation. And you say, well, it's more moldable clay if they went to college. It's like, why?
Yeah, I really don't know.
Why? You're not smarter because you went to college. And it's also, it's the information age now. Like, what is a podcast? Like, it's a conversation between two people. Yeah. It's like, well, you can listen to lectures as podcasts, or when you're listening to people talk, that's how humans usually learn.
Usually, yeah.
Right? That's how they usually learn. Yeah. So now what are you doing? Well, I'm learning every single day. So all this information that like used to be boarded up in the colleges, it's on the internet. It's everywhere. You can learn whatever you want. There's nothing that I've found more motivating than like reading. I read like years ago this biography of Elon Musk. He taught himself rocket science. And when I say that, I mean he taught himself rocket science. He did not major in rocket science. He majored in physics. He read like 300 books on rocket science.
Wow.
And then once he finished with PayPal, he used that money to go after rockets because he wanted to start SpaceX. But that's all the motivation. Like all the information is out there.
It's true.
It's
You can
all
learn anything.
fucking out there.
Learn anything.
Like it is the thing that everyone's like the most brilliant thing is like, well, it's not rocket science. You know what I mean? It's like, well, it's not it's not that difficult. It's not rocket science. And it's like, yeah, but he taught himself that with information because that's all you're doing is you're taking in information. It's just a matter of how you do it. If you really want to do something, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And the reality that there's like this gatekeeperism with like, oh, you got to go to college. You have to go to
gatekeeperism. That's good.
Yeah, like with these companies where it's like, oh, you got to go to college to be able to work. It's
You have to have experience.
no, fuck
You got
that.
to, yeah.
If I read enough books about something and you give me a general outline of what my job is going to be, I can do that job just as well as not me. I'm saying the proverbial.
Yeah.
You know, because some jobs wouldn't fit me, just like some jobs wouldn't fit you. You know,
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. But like, you know, you can learn whatever you want. You can work on whatever you want.
I like to believe that, but then I'll get caught reading like these Neil deGrasse Tyson books, and like this shit is like way over my head, and I try so hard to understand it. I genuinely do. Like, there's been a couple things where I've read it and I've like put the book down. I've gone on YouTube and just like watched videos of like, okay, like how do they measure the distance of stars? How do they actually do that? How did they do that? Like, you know, 100 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why was he wrong? Like all this shit, and I still kind of don't understand it. But to your point, I could, like, in theory, if I like wanted to fucking learn that,
Right.
I could just keep going back and back and back and like really get down to the basics of like,
Right.
what is this, and then build on that.
Yeah. I would say the thing that's really good for that is math,
See, that's
which is
I'm
not great, but that's how like
not good at math. At
Yeah.
all.
Was that? But
Or even understanding
Maybe,
like
yeah.
concepts of math. I don't know. I'm not going to self-diagnose myself with like dyslexia, but there'll be sometimes where I'm reading numbers and I'm like, you know, 29.6 times this, and then that equals that, and then you take that, and if I'm like, now I'm already fucking lost. Like, I'm already lost.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to understand math, like the people that can do like the quick fucking math, it's like, god damn it,
pretty
man.
impressive.
I wish that I could do that.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm dyslexic also.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Math was a struggle for sure. My dad's dyslexic also, but he majored in engineering somehow. I don't know how. It really, and that's where I think a lot of his structure came from, is the fact that he is inherently kind of scatterbrained, and so he's put up these structures to be able to like rein in his scatteredness. You know,
he can like hone it in.
Yeah,
And be scattered on like one thing.
and exactly. And so, like, I was thinking about possibly buying one of those like master classes for like calculus.
Oh, yeah.
They teach you calculus, because I the highest I took was like algebra 2.
I didn't pass algebra.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I took it twice.
Jeez.
Didn't pass it.
Damn. Yeah.
Well, you have to have a C, I think, to move on. I got 2 C's. Couldn't do it. Just didn't.
The C's not passing?
I think to move on to geometry, you had to have like a B or something.
Okay.
I definitely didn't like fail it.
Yeah.
Maybe I got a D. Maybe
Right.
Fuck. I don't know. My claim to fame was my 1 D in Spanish, and now I'm having.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But, like, I didn't pass. But
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't my strong suit. But back to the reading thing. When you read,
Yeah.
do you read every single word, or do you like kind of do the skimming thing and can put the pieces together? Because my stepmom, she can read like a page and just like just be done with it. And my dad's the same way as me. Like, he reads every single word.
Absolutely.
Like, he has to read every single word.
How do you?
I don't know. Maybe she's just skimming, and
She has to be.
and maybe I don't know. Now I'm like conscious of it, where like I'll try and read fast, or like reading out loud. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll try and practice reading out loud if I'm by myself. I'll
Yeah.
just like read out loud, and I'm like, why is this so fucking hard?
Yeah.
I'm reading it in my head. Why can't I get it out in the same thing? Like, anytime I have to read out loud, or like if we're on this podcast and like I'm reading something on a website, I'm like so self-conscious about like am I reading this? I stumbled. Like,
well, that's
I
why.
can't and it's like, fuck, man. Like, I can't.
But that's why you're stumbling. It's because you're afraid of stumbling.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I can't read out loud.
Yeah.
I do like to read, but it just takes me a while.
Yeah.
To get through a book.
Definitely.
What kind of stuff are you reading these days? Are you doing much? Or are you kind of...
Yeah, I'm reading all the time.
Are you?
All the time.
What do you read?
Fiction, nonfiction, both.
Yeah.
You know, but I read Freakonomics recently.
Oh.
That was fascinating. Have you read that?
No, is that the one from like 2008, right?
Yeah.
The older one? I
Dude,
have it downstairs.
So that's the thing, is that book, you realize how a part of the modern conversation.
So it's still relevant.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You'll read about it and be like, oh, I've heard of this.
Somebody gave it to me and I was like, that's old. Like, am I going to get caught up in the oldness
it's
of it?
really
But
good.
Is it like grossly relevant where you're like, this was written like,
well,
like
the
almost 20 years
behavioral
ago?
economic aspect of it, you know what I mean, is so interesting. And it was, at a time, it was huge. It was so insightful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About like markets and human behavior. And, you know, for instance, like the guy that wrote it, like talking about math, like I know he went to like MIT and Harvard or whatever. But here's the thing though, is that like, he's like, I'm not good at math. I just am good at thinking about a certain idea, a certain problem, and then breaking it down and trying to understand it. You know what I mean? It's like, he doesn't do math. He's in economics. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's a strong suit, but if you're really good at something, you could still do that thing, you know? So I don't know how the hell he possibly is able to structure all of that information like that. Actually, when you read it, you'll actually be able to tell. It's more like a narrative. It's not as mathematical as you might think it is. It's more like a story. You know what I mean?
Like math? Like the math problem?
No, it's
or
not.
him?
There's no math problems.
Yeah.
It's when it's talking about these certain economic circumstances.
Got it. Okay.
That it's like more...
I'm like still hung up on the math. Okay, so like...
Wait, so there's math.
Like the math. I'm not doing no fucking math.
Is that a number? Hell no. But yeah, I'm reading usually a nonfiction and a fiction book. Right now, I finished that one in like a week.
Yeah.
Week and a half.
Is that good?
It's just, you just flow through it, you know? With fiction, it always takes me a little longer to read it. I don't know why, but it just does. I think because it's like very direct information from nonfiction. So I like gravitate towards it. But like with fiction, the emotional story of it, like maybe there's a bit of me that's like, I don't know if I want to get involved in this again. Right. You know what I mean?
I see. Okay.
But I still read a lot. So right now I'm reading actually 2 fiction books. I'm reading The Crack Up, F. Scott Fitzgerald.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He wrote The Great Gatsby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And David Foster Wallace, Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. Yeah, it's like an essay book pretty much. And there's some really, really good stuff in there.
See, I feel like the reason I don't read fiction is maybe the same reason why I don't sit down and watch movies all the time, is I'm afraid that I'm like not going to be able to get into it. Or this isn't real. Like, at least if I'm reading like a real book, I'm like getting real information.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally feel that. Absolutely.
So like, at least it's like, well, it was kind of boring, but at least I was like learning something to some degree.
Right. Yeah, I totally get that. I don't... Do you think it also has to do with your phone a little bit?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But like, I'm reading Green Lights right now, Matthew McConaughey's book. And I know that's not fiction, but it's a storytelling.
Right.
And I really enjoy it. Like, it's really like a fun read. I like to read that book.
Yeah.
I read Dave Grohl's book too.
How was that?
Dude, great.
Really?
Really, really good.
Damn.
And it was not the Nirvana sob fest that I thought it was going to be. There was like one chapter on it.
Really?
About Kurt Cobain.
Oh, Kurt Cobain. Right? Yeah.
The rest is like about him, and I think that's obviously it's his book, but I don't know. I kind of had this pretense of like, it's Dave Grohl,
He's
like, you know, he's going to talk about Kurt Cobain like being dead and all this stuff. And,
right.
You know, not that that's bad.
But he talks about Nirvana, right?
He obviously does. Yeah, it was a huge part of his.
Yeah.
He was part of
absolutely.
His shit, but I really enjoyed it. I love reading that book. So maybe I just like memoirs, and then maybe I'll get into
memoirs,
fiction.
Yeah.
But like this weird. Molly Shannon has a memoir that just came out, and I listened to a podcast with her on it. That's how I found out about all of these memoirs. Is like,
okay.
I listened to them, and I'm like, Well, this sounds pretty interesting. And the Molly Shannon one sounds like it would be a good read.
Really?
She's been through some shit.
Wow.
She was in like a fucking terrible car accident when she was a kid, and like
Wow.
half her family died. And,
Jesus, no way.
Yeah, crazy.
Damn.
So yeah, I want to get into that.
Yeah.
Sounds like some really uplifting shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying the Matthew McConaughey book, and then I have another one. It's called In Defense of the Food by Michael Pollan. He's kind of
I know Michael Pollan.
I've heard the name. He's
Yeah. Or Pollan or Polian?
Pollan. Michael Pollan.
Okay.
He's written a couple other books about like food and all this stuff. So I'm reading this one. It's kind of an older one. I think it's from like 2010.
Nice.
But it's pretty good. Have you read any Malcolm Gladwell?
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you read?
I've read The Tipping Point, and I've read
Outliers.
Sorry.
You good?
Outliers.
Did you like time travel from like old Britain? Outliers.
You're
gonna start spelling color with a U?
I'm like Tipping Point and Outliers.
Outliers. One of my favorite books I've ever read is Talking with Strangers.
I haven't read that.
That's
yet.
another one of his.
Yeah.
I read it. Andrea read it, and I got my dad to read it.
Really?
Yeah. Fucking awesome book. Love that book.
Hell yeah. I need to read that.
Going back to this math thing. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
Oh, you're good, man.
He's talking about why, like, in Asian cultures, they tend to be better at math.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that they're better at math. Can I say that? Am I going to get, we're fine.
They're winning.
Anyways.
They win in this scenario. What is so bad about that?
I don't know. You gave me a look like, what the fuck?
You think so? I gave you a look?
I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't mean to give you a look.
No, you're good. So, like, why? Oh. Sorry, we don't have fucking snacks here. Okay?
You don't?
No.
Oh, okay. Good.
So, he's saying that they're not really better at math, but the way that the number system is set up over there is easier for you to remember. How like their like 11 is like 1 1. It's not a different number. Like ours is 1 and then 11. It's a completely different thing.
Ooh, interesting.
And how
so we immediately
12
yeah
is 1 2. So the way that they can do it is just easier. And I'm like, that blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I mean, and language is crazy too.
Oh, dude, I almost like want to get my master's in language because I just want to fucking sit there. Dude, language is fucking fascinating.
It makes no sense.
Dude, okay. I don't know if you saw, I put a little thing on Instagram yesterday.
I didn't see it.
Where it's like all that language is just like symbols of your emotion. That's it. Mm-hmm. And relative to culture, it's like there's the same emotions. It's just different ways of expressing it through language. Mm-hmm. But that's all it fucking is. Yeah. And it's incredible because like one of the things about language that is so fascinating is that like, you know, you have like think of yourself as like a computer. I think we talked about this before.
Maybe.
Probably, yeah. But like think of yourself as like a computer, right? Words are your programming, right?
Okay.
And so when you express yourself, like the thing that's really important about language is the more words you know, or the more means that you have to express what you're trying to, what you feel, the better you feel, right? So that's why, like, for instance, when you get cut off on a freeway and like you just yell like all these expletives and you just make these noises, it's so much immediate emotion and it's such frustration that there's only so many words that encapsulate that.
Weird.
Right? Whereas like it feels good when you talk to somebody about something, like it's bottled up inside.
Yeah.
Then when you express yourself fully, think about the idea of, you know what I mean? Think about the idea of like expressing
like
yourself.
The truth will set you free type shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like why does it feel good to just get something off your chest? Why do people confess to crimes?
It's your conscience.
And shame.
It's your fucking conscience. Yeah.
It goes back to the expression of words that are tied to an emotion.
Mm-hmm. That's fucking, dude, language.
That's cool.
Language is
That's
so
a cool way to think about it.
Yeah.
We were just watching Amazing Race downstairs. Mm-hmm. They were in like Vietnam, I think. Or Laos. I don't know where Laos is. Laos. Anyways, and one of the challenges was
Thailand, I think.
One of the challenges was like they have to go and learn the alphabet. And their alphabet is all like tonal. And it's like, oh, nah, va, fa, like literally, and they had to learn this entire alphabet.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, like, how did we get to talking like this, and they talk completely different over there, but yet we can look at a door and we can go, that's a door, and they say something completely fucking different.
But they're saying the same thing.
They're saying the same thing, and it's crazy.
Right.
And all it is like weird muscles in our mouth, and like that they moved it. It's just, it got me on like this whole other train of thought of just like, and that's just like 2 languages that I'm thinking of. Like we have so many other languages and so many other dialects
that are built off them,
and tone, right? Like tone is different everywhere, right? You might think someone's being rude to you in another country when it's like that's just the tone of how they say it, like this kind of blend of different words and culture and tone and all that. I love it. It's crazy.
Well, it's like, why do we read Shakespeare? It's like because Shakespeare wrote about the human trials and human emotion in a way that was never fully depicted in that manner. So that's why we read it in high school, and it's such a prominent part of our language, is because the way that he wrote these plays, right, was like unlike anything else. It was brilliant, and it showed human trial and human anguish and love and all these emotions in this played out manner of a narrative, of a play, you know? Like that's why Shakespeare is Shakespeare, is because he changed the human language. He changed English, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Really interesting. Like the connotations, the understanding of tragedy.
What about him was so different than other writers back then? Was it just the way that he could write a story and convey a story, or was it
he could convey emotion? And it's a way that he can convey humanity in his writing in a way that was so emotionally real and in touch with our actual emotions. You know what I mean? Because it's like you have a feeling that you like can't even name until somebody else comes up with some sort of expression that names it. You know? It's like, imagine that.
I was going to mention that too, like knowing more words and being able to pinpoint how you feel is super important.
It's so important
too. Like
it's so vastly important. Like you should try to learn more words, because you will be able to express yourself and feel better doing so, because it's not a pretentious thing. It's not. It's because you can more accurately express yourself. And once you can do that, you go, I feel a little better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that. I think that's awesome.
That's
I never thought
cool.
of the words being attached to an emotion.
Well, it's like this. It's like if a word is more complicated and it's expressing an emotion, right? That emotion is probably going to be pretty complicated also. You know what I mean? It's like I'm frustrated or I'm apoplectic. Apoplectic is a next level of frustration. You say, I'm really frustrated. It's like, no, I'm fucking apoplectic right now. Right?
Yeah.
It's like that is a whole new level of anger. Like coming out of my ears, you know, steam or whatever. So dude, it's so fascinating. All this, all that stuff. Language is amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Communication, all of it. The way that we're able to express ourselves through language and then through art. It's like that's all art is. It's just a medium of communication. We create it, we put it out there in the world, and people react to it.
Yeah.
And that's just a means of communicating. So like, it's crazy. It's crazy all the constructs that we built over these years. You know what I mean? It's so insane. It's like movies and video games are becoming the next real thing that is this means of communication. So it's not just you have a gun and you shoot the monster anymore. It's like there's emotion tied to it now. There's cinematic aspects to it now. It's like
it's just leveled
you can
up
change because you played this game, right? Like it's all this means of communicating, you know? So it's fascinating. It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What time is it?
3:20.
Do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta pee.
Okay.
I like Cheesecake Factory.
It's pretty good.
Every time we've gone there, it's like, I mean, the menu's 45 pages long, but the food's good.
I always hate big menus, but I like Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of big menus.
No, I want you to be good at like 12, 15 things.
Yeah, weird.
Not like 60.
Yeah, what's this thing where like I can go to one place and I can get like pasta, I can get steak, I can get a burger, I can get like a vegan meal all in one. Like that sounds great, but like I came here to like have you be good at something, man. It's weird that you're good at all of them.
Exactly.
I don't like it.
Well, I don't believe it, but
exactly.
Cheesecake Factory is good. It's good quality. It's good cook. It's kind of like Yard House, actually.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yard House is good.
What about BJ's?
Big fan.
You like BJ's?
I like BJ's. I do. Wait, what do you mean? Yeah, no. They have good soup and salad.
Yeah,
they do. It's like $8, and you have like a pick your own soup and salad. There's like 3 different salads, 3 different soups. It's a pretty good deal. $8 to $12. I'm sure now it's risen, but
it's like $25 now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we just like don't go to restaurants that often.
Yeah,
the only restaurant we go to that I can think of is like Lazy Dog.
Okay,
have you been to Lazy Dog?
I have not.
Again, the only reason we go there is because they have like a rice bowl. Their beer is good too. They have like a rice bowl with tofu, and it's like a
really
like a sweet and sour rice bowl with tofu. There's not a lot of places that offer tofu, and I'm stuck. Yeah, it's hella good. Oh. I mean, they're stuck getting like I guess I'll get a pizza, right?
Yeah,
like a cheese pizza or like a veggie burger, and those are always like either not great or the one at Lazy Dog is good, but it's like way over the top. There's like fried onions. There's like a bunch of sauce
in the pizza.
No, on the veggie burger. On the veggie burger, it's like
because they're trying to account for the fact that it's a veggie burger.
Exactly, which is fine. Like I accept that I eat a certain way, and I'm not like really gonna complain about it. Sure. Like I'll find something anywhere we go.
And
but like
if you are.
Oh, give me back those. I'm just stealing some chips from your house now, dude.
Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah. But yeah, like Lazy Dog, we order to go like 9 times out of 10 anywhere we go.
Yeah,
and we
do
usually
you go to the restaurant and pick it up? Really?
Yeah, sometimes we do DoorDash. Although the last time we got a DoorDash,
super expensive.
Yeah, and this bitch was like downtown looking for us, and apparently DoorDash doesn't allow you to switch out of a Maps app. You have to use the DoorDash Maps app.
Yeah,
and like she was putting in her address, and it was putting her like somewhere downtown. So I was texting this fucking idiot line by line instructions of where to go from here because she told me where she was. She told me where she was, and she was just like right down here. So I'm literally like, okay, you're gonna go eastbound because she was asking for that. I'm like, you're gonna go east or whatever the fuck it was. You're gonna hit 2 stop signs. On the second stop sign, there's gonna be a soccer field. There's gonna be a soccer net. It's the second drive. Like literally, like texting her all the shit.
Wow.
She found her house, but
damn, that's impressive.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. Yeah, I'm pretty smart.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, what about you? What are you eating these days?
What am I eating? Good question. I love that question. That's like the best question.
Yeah, dude. We all love food.
What do you have for breakfast? And then it just starts a conversation of like what you eat.
I don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I fast.
Yeah, I do that too.
I don't actually. I'm fucking
lying,
you dumbass.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah. No, I would never fucking do that. Are you stupid? No, I don't do that either.
What do I eat? Recently, well, I've been with my parents for the past week. Yeah, I got kicked out of my place.
Because you're a broke ass bitch.
Because I'm a broke ass bitch. Yeah, no. Because don't ever say that again.
Sorry. Redact that.
No, yeah. Okay, we can put another pin in that.
Let me write that down. Yeah, just writing down all the shit. We come back to it.
Yeah, I keep notes down here of the shit that I don't want on the podcast. Like, okay, don't. Yeah, anyway. So, when I was downtown, I was making a lot of like, I like a rice bowl, probably like
it's a good go-to.
2-3 times a week. Yeah, easy to make rice, and you put like onions and a meat or a tofu, because I like tofu. Put like some greens, whatever, cook it all up, put it in the rice bowl, put some sauce on it. It's great. It's simple, it's easy. Big fan of having I like pork chops quite a bit. Oh my God. I freaking love pork chops. So I was making pork chops, and what I do is I cut up potatoes and apples and onions, cook it with Worcestershire sauce.
Wow.
Oh my God. It's like it like caramelizes. The Worcestershire sauce caramelizes with it all.
Huh.
It's such a great combination. Make some salads.
Yeah, you like salads.
I do. I like salads. I don't love salads. I'm not like a huge salad guy.
That's the last thing I would ever make.
It's a salad.
Is a salad.
Yeah, you know, I do like a homemade salad. I do like making a salad. It's not every week, but probably every 2 or 3 weeks I'll make a big bowl of salad.
So you like a big family style salad where everybody's like pitching in. Now, when you make your salad, do you put the sauce in when you make it, or are you like put it in your bowl, put sauce on top afterwards?
That's a great question.
I think
go ahead. You
like
asked me, right?
Soggy.
You like
I kind of like
a
the
soup?
soggy.
Like the soup?
just a bowl. Just a bowl of balsamic vinegar with some spinach in it. Yeah, I asked you and then I cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
You took a while to answer.
Yeah,
So I saw the gears
you didn't
turning.
give me time to answer. So
yeah.
Here we are.
So what do you like?
I think I like to keep the dressing off of it until you put it in your bowl, and then you can dress it yourself. Although I will say I like the look of it in the refrigerator when it has the dressing already mixed with it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Soggy.
Soggy's the wrong word. It's just like damp with dressing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Soggy salad.
I think that I usually make it. If you would listen to what I'm saying that
I'm not going to.
I like when the salad
soup
is able to be put into the bowl without dressing, and then dressing can be put on when it's in your bowl.
Now, what kind of dressing? Are you?
Good question.
Do you like
everything?
Good question.
Every time you ask a question, good question.
I asked you like a terrible question.
Yeah. I was like, good question.
Mm-hmm. What kind of car do you have?
Good question.
Good question. As if there's like more than one answer.
So how old are you? Good question.
Oh, big red flag. If you ask somebody how old they are and they go, good question, probably stop talking to that person immediately.
It's like that conversation can go in so many different directions from there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Did you drug my drink? Good question. Ranch, blue cheese, balsamic.
Usually I'd go with a balsamic and all.
You're not a hearty.
Well, dude,
sauce.
I mean,
they're gross.
Dude,
sorry.
It's not a salad at that point. Like, I don't even have a creative thing to call it. It's just not. It's a damp. That's
a soggy. Yeah.
Damp vegetable medley. That's with like ranch and all that shit, blue cheese. Like, fuck that, dude.
I like the blue cheese crumbles.
That's good
on like some pizza or a salad.
Well, dude, I mean, good. If you put like crispy bacon.
Go on.
Or like crispy prosciutto in the salad with like
you just classed up bacon by saying prosciutto, but okay.
Well, because my mom made it like a couple days ago and it was like so good. Yeah. But the thing about it is that you don't put a lot in there. You just put enough so that it has like a nice salty bit to it. That's really good. And then you put eggs, hard boiled eggs. Oh my god. Beans. The red beans.
Like little kidney beans?
Little kidney beans, yeah.
Yeah.
Little kidneys. Yeah, cheese, cranberries. Yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff.
I'm glad we tackled the salad thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Do you like avocado in your salad?
Love avocado.
Yeah.
But I'm not crazy about avocado. Like, I'm not crazy about lettuce, ironically enough. Not crazy about it. I'll have a salad with lettuce, you know.
Oh, like iceberg lettuce?
Iceberg lettuce.
So what's your base? Like spinach or arugula or...
I prefer a chopped salad, personally.
What's that?
Chopped salads like carrots, onions, bell peppers, cucumbers, avocado works in there, corn. I like shit like that.
Got it. Yeah. You kind of just like the toppings then. You're like a fake ass salad eater.
Yeah, I'm like the actual part of the salad outside of like the, you know, iceberg lettuce.
I always thought it was such a scam when you're at like a like a store. You see like the pre-made salads, and it's just like this box of fucking iceberg lettuce, and you're like, this is really like $9.
There's like 3 shreds of
and
carrots
it's just
in there.
terrible.
Yeah,
it's just fucking worst.
Yeah,
yeah.
They always give you like the packaging always has like the wrong proportion ratio of like all the ingredients that you would put.
They give you like a gallon of like pumpkin seeds.
Yeah,
they give you like 6 dices of chicken, and you're like, what the fuck am I eating?
Yeah, it's like you eat that in like one bite, you have like this much salad left. Or they give you like little taco strips, you know?
Yeah.
They're like this big, and there's like 6 of them. What are some other things we could talk about when it comes to food? Let's rate food.
What kind of stuff do you like from downtown? What are your favorite restaurants living downtown?
Okay, so I like this place. Immediately, what comes to mind is this place called Kadaiko, which is like this Japanese like noodle house, but they also have like this fried chicken sandwich, and the bread is like this egg or like milk bread, and it doesn't fall apart. So you know how usually when you have like a sandwich, right? You put too much sauce on there with everything, it starts to break apart. This stuff does not break apart. And this chicken sandwich is so damn good. They have a delicious like spiced coleslaw with like really good quality chicken. That's really good. Their noodles are really good. I
What's
just
it
like
called?
the vibe. It's called Kadaiko.
Kamaiko?
Kamaiko, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Kakafico.
China.
One of the China restaurants. Yeah. No, it's really good. It's on K Street.
What about bars? Are there any like really good bars downtown?
Well, define what's your depiction of a really good bar.
I don't know.
What do you like? I've been to all of them.
Oh. Yeah, dude, I get around, bro.
Yeah, people like me.
Yeah, chicks, dude, at bars, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Ever heard of them?
Chicks, bro. You know where they go?
Bars.
Bars, dude. They go to bars. You know where this guy goes?
Bars.
Bars. What can I say?
I can't tell, like, if my answer is I like dive bars and, like, shitty.
You like shitty bars?
I don't know. I don't really go to a lot of bars. Dude, I don't fucking go out.
Yeah.
I'm such a cheap ass.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard for me to spend $7 to $8 to $12 on a beer. Maybe not 12, but like, you know, average beer. Like we go up to Crooked Lane. It's a brewery. It's like $8 for a beer.
Okay. That's not bad.
It's good.
Yeah.
But like going into a bar is not
your cup of tea.
Not really.
Yeah. So you wouldn't even know what you would like.
Not really like the kind of bar. Like I'll always be able to find a beer. I'm not worried about that. But like, I don't know. Like
you're not a cocktail drinker at all, right?
No.
Yeah. I like a place called 1010.
1010.
It was like a block and a half away from my place, so that was a good thing and a bad thing. Just kidding. No, I never had a problem. You can take this out.
Never had a problem. I'm burying myself now.
No, 1010's great. Let's see. I like Golden Bear personally. It's very like hip kind of bar. They have like music sometimes. They play classic movies. Also, B-Sides is cool too. The Cabin is on 21st and I like that spot.
What about you?
Jungle Bird's fun.
What do you look for in a bar? Like, what do you?
I don't really know, honestly.
Like when you're like, oh, where do I want to go tonight?
There's a certain comfort element to it that I can't really put my finger on. You know, I like a dive bar, but like, have you been to the Zebra Club?
No.
That's like a very shitty bar. You know?
Yeah.
Like
that's like the whole point.
Yeah, that's like the whole point. That's like what they're leaning into.
Shitty,
you know what I mean? Which is cool. It's not my thing personally, but I don't need like some really well refurbished bar. I think I like a slight vintage element to my bar. That's what I'd say. I like something that's like, oh, it's been here since the 50s. Oh, it's been here since the 80s. Or, you know, something like that, where it's just kind of reminiscent of something. And that's what I think is the common idea. Like the Jungle Bird, for instance, is like, you know, Polynesian, right? Which was a big thing in the 60s. So they kind of lean into that a bit, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's probably the common correlation. Like I can go to all these other bars and everything, but the places that I'll keep like showing up to again and again will have that element, I think, to them.
I like being able to sit outside. That's like a huge one for me, I think. Now that I'm thinking about it. Did you? Yeah. Oh, sweet. I'm going to leave that in.
I was just looking you in the eyes. I was like,
What if you're just like, I have to go, I shit my pants. You just get up and walk out.
Bathroom. It smells pretty bad. Hey, what's up? Smells good in here. A candle.
Candle.
Oh yeah. I love candles.
Yeah, me too.
So good.
Did you get a new tattoo? On the back of your arm?
I'm gonna get tatted in a couple days also.
Oh.
Yeah, I get here and then one here.
What is it? It's like a...
It's a creature from our game.
Oh.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter about the success of the game. It's just the memory.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Are you like...
I'm not gay, dude.
Come on, dude.
Nice try.
Sorry. Are you like a... You gonna get like a sleeve? You one of those?
No.
Because you have one on your...
Yeah, I have one here also.
Your leg.
Yeah, my leg. I don't, like... I don't know why, like, it's cool, like, it's fine if somebody else has a sleeve. I just never felt like it, like I would want that. You know what I mean? Like, I just rather have, like, scattered kind of tats. I think that looks kind of cool.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think you're stupid. I think you're wrong.
I think you're stupid.
Really...
What are you going to do? Get a sleeve? Get a stupid fucking sleeve for yourself? What are you, cold?
There's a guy. Yeah, I want a sleeve. No. This is fucking real. This actually ties in. There's a guy that works at the couple businesses down. Mm-hmm. He has 2 sleeves, all black.
Really?
Yeah. It's fucking weird to see because he's wearing a short sleeve shirt and it's all just like black ink on his arms, like a sleeve.
Damn. Why would you want that?
I don't know. Like, did he have like some shit on there that
That's
like had to be covered up?
Is he pale? That's probably what it is. Probably has freckles and he's ashamed of them. Maybe. Not ashamed, he's just insecure about them. So you just...
Weird. I mean, that's like a fucking commitment. What do you do? Do you do them both at the same time? You can't do both of them at the same time. Do you get half of one done?
You just have segments finished pretty much.
God, dude.
It's like chunk after chunk until you get it finished. Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a commitment. Yeah, I know a friend of mine, she just had an artist do whatever they wanted to her.
Oh, shit.
For like, I think she's paying like $2,000. Wow. Something like that. So she just blasted.
Oh, shit.
Both arms now.
Whoa.
Looks pretty cool.
Does it?
Lie. Yeah.
I do love the art of it. I like to look at them.
Yeah, dude. There is something really cool about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, I dig them. I really do. I don't think it's just like a fad or whatever. It's like, yeah, put it on your body. It's pretty rad to see. And it's also, it's an opportunity to, I don't know. I've been like fucking with this idea in my head where it's like, it's not going to be positive, right? But it's like, we're just looking for feeds to post shit on. And our bodies are just another feed,
like a feed
to post.
Whoa, listen to you,
yeah,
dude.
No, I've been thinking about that. And I've been like, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's like, it's almost like the same when you're about to like go on vacation.
Uh-huh.
And you're like thinking about all the cool places you're going to post on Instagram. Like, oh, I'm going to take this picture here and I'm going to post it. And it's like, fuck, that's really shitty that I'm thinking about that. But like, I'm going to take a cool picture at that spot and I'm going to post it and it's going to look cool. Mm-hmm. Like, people fucking think about that.
Oh, for sure. Well, they get tattoos and they think about that, right?
Yeah. Like I got a tattoo of fucking some dumb shit, but I'm going to post it and people will be like, oh, yeah, she got a tattoo of this and it's sick. Mm-hmm. Like, that's kind of
and it means this to me. And I got it for this reason.
Yeah.
And I need you to see it also. There's definitely something that's very like...
It almost has like a dual.
Yeah.
It's like dual. It's like...
Yeah, it's like
you're getting it for you, but you're really maybe getting it for somebody else.
Because if you were, you could put it in a book and look at it. As opposed to putting it on yourself and have everybody else see it.
Ask you about it.
Yeah. So... But that's the thing, You can't not be, I don't know. It's narcissistic in a sense, right? A little bit. It's like you should hear about me. But at the same time, but that's the thing though, is that there's also an art to it where it looks cool.
Yeah. I definitely think so.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to get something.
Yeah.
I just don't know what.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Well, that's the thing. If you don't know,
then... like there's just nothing that like speaks to me like, oh, I want to get a tattoo of that.
Yeah.
And it's not really even like the permanency of it that freaks me out. Like maybe like a little bit, but it's mostly like I just don't know what it would be. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm not that passionate about something. Mm-hmm. Then why would I?
You wouldn't get like music or something.
Probably
stupid
not.
like
From
that.
being dumb. Yeah, I'll get like some musical notes on here of like it's like my favorite song, dude. I get green sleeves tattooed on my fucking arm, dude.
Sleeve of green sleeves.
Sleeve of green sleeves.
Talk about duality.
Yeah, dude. Just like the whole fucking score on my arms, like looks like shit.
You had one of the funniest things I've ever seen somebody do when your mannerisms are so unique. Do you know that?
No.
You're fucking hilarious. You had this thing where, remember when you talk about dubstep? And you'd be like, oh yeah, no, this, like, the way you describe dubstep songs are just like that big EDM sound when you go, oh, like that. When the bass is just like slapping in your face. Yeah. That's still one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Or when we'd have a session and I just like throw this distortion plug-in on the master and just like turn it all the way on and be like, oh no, like the mix is done.
Yeah, it was exactly it. Well, there was like that that era where like music was like, and it all begins to flow. And like, I never saw anybody encapsulate like the bass coming in better than that right there.
It fucking kills me because it, like, I used to like dubstep. Yeah. I used to be into it, and now I listen to it and I'm like, this is obnoxious.
And then your balls dropped.
Yeah, like something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, dubstep, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I think
I don't think I ever liked any dubstep song. Any. And I had friends that were really into it.
I think I just liked that it was different. It was like, oh, I haven't heard anything like this before. Where now it seems like you've kind of heard everything until you hear something that's different, obviously. Like,
sure.
Kind of ebbs and flows, but...
Well, it was interesting to see the progression because it was like, first you had Deadmau 5, right? And then from there it was like Strobe was the song, right?
That was a big one, but he wasn't even dubstep.
No. But I'm saying that like the progression was so quick where it was like, oh, here's Deadmau 5 or Deadmau5, whatever.
Deadmau5, whatever.
Call it Deadmau 5. And then it was like Diplo, and like some people like that, like Calvin Harris. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's more like dancey. This is more, I guess you're thinking more like pop dance, like dubstep's like Skrillex.
Yeah, I know. And then all of a sudden Skrillex showed up and it was like, what the fuck is this?
Is taking it to a whole
Oh
other.
my God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck
like,
is happening? It's like, get it on it, get it on it, get it on it, pull your, you know, and it's like, all right, I guess so.
To listen to a whole song now would just be like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Dude, what are you listening to now? That's a good
I was actually going to ask you that because before you and I met, like, I wasn't listening to... Like, I was trying to branch out, but I didn't know what was good. And you have a pretty good taste in music. Yeah. Like, your taste in music's we're aligned, but we're just different enough where we can find a common ground and, like,
for sure,
appreciate different stuff. To answer your question, I'm not really listening to anything new.
Yeah. Same shit.
But, like, it's hard because I don't listen to a lot of music anymore.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
This comes back to what we're talking about, like the information thing. Like if I put on a song, I just don't know if I'm going to get that same rush of excitement.
Right.
As I would maybe listening to a song like 10 years ago when I was like a kid and like you're forming a kid. I was like 18 back then. But you know what I mean? Like, but I've heard songs on the radio or like Spotify's pretty good with their like release radar.
Definitely,
right? Like every week or so I'll like go on there and get on there and find a couple songs and I'll like favorite them and I'll come back and listen to them and then like that'll kind of send me down sort of a rabbit hole. Like I want to listen to newer music, but I just get stuck in this podcast loop of like, oh, I just need like information. And I need fucking things in my ear that I'm going to be able to digest. I'm not going to have to wait for. I'm not waiting for the podcast to tell me something.
Right.
I'm already kind of in it.
You're already in it. That's a good point.
But I knew you were coming over today.
Yeah.
I don't know why this mattered, but I associate you with the 1975. You're the person that like got me into like that sort of style. Like
the 1975 is a gateway drug to that entire.
Yeah, and what's funny is like I'm not even the biggest like 1975 fan, but I do love their sound and
so good.
They've just kind of perfected that
alternative thing. Yeah.
You hear somebody that sounds like them and you're like, oh, they sound like the 1975. Yeah. Like they've done it.
Absolutely.
And I was listening back to just some of their other hits and I was like, fuck man, they're really good.
They're really good.
And then I was listening to Japanese House on the way to the gym this morning. I was like, fuck man, I remember the first time I heard Worms or I can't think of the name, but
Face Like Thunder.
No, it's off that other album. But there's a couple songs off of that one album.
Yeah. That album's great.
And I just like, fuck, I remember the first time I heard this, I was like goosebumps, like, holy shit, this is awesome. And I was like, I had it fucking cranked all the way up. I was listening to it and I was like, fuck, man, like I don't listen to music like this anymore.
Right.
I don't like get into songs anymore. It sucks.
It's, you know, you're going to the gym still, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like,
You can't tell?
I was going to say that. I was like, I can't really tell. So I had to ask.
Yeah, it's okay. It's cool. I'll cut that.
Throw it out there.
Yeah, it's fine.
But like, that's a good place to just like put on a record you've never listened to. And just kind of
try and get into it.
Just kind of listen. You know, like I listened to lately. I don't like. Well, I had a big Steely Dan phase.
Whoa.
Yeah, big Steely Dan phase. Just I don't know what it was, man. That jazz fusion. It just
I don't know what it was,
fucking
man.
vibing. I'm still vibe with it.
Yeah.
But like, I was listening to the new Father John Misty record.
Don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He did Real Love Baby. I got real love, baby. Wait. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, he was the drummer for Fleet Foxes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
they have that one song,
and then he did his own thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's good, and I'm kind of like gravitating towards like just like acoustic guitar and not like singer songwriter shit. Like almost like I don't really know.
You know what
it
I
is.
came across? I mean, didn't fucking come across it.
Yeah.
Coldplay's like first or second album.
So good.
That is
With parachutes.
Is that the one with Sparks?
Yes. That record is
that
so
album
fucking
is like
good.
maybe what you're trying to explain is like there's the only heavier song is Yellow. Every other song is just like this vibe of like acoustic guitar.
Dude.
Like, there's no synths, there's no anything. It's
Coldplay
just,
gets so much shit. They're so good.
They're good.
They're such
They're
a
fucking
good
good.
band, dude. That first record, do you ever listen? You listen to it?
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
I'm getting confused because I know they have.
Shiver.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the album cover. Yeah,
It's
the one with
it's
Shiver.
yellow. It's yellow.
It's that one, right? It's all
got
on
the
the same
moon.
one.
It's got the moon.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
the one we were
Or
just
it's not a
talking about.
moon. It's something else. But
Something else, and then the
Yeah.
one, rush of blood to the head,
Rush of
whatever
Blood to
that
the
one is.
Head.
That one has like Scientist and In My Place. That's a sick song.
Yeah.
And then X and Y, like that's weird.
Yeah,
But that's a good album too.
dude, Coldplay.
I mean, they get shit on, but like, I don't know. They've kind of
Well,
they haven't done the Maroon 5 sellouty thing
No.
as much, right?
No.
They've gotten stuck in this. They haven't gotten stuck, but they've done a few of those like pop.
they
loops.
know
did a
much
song
more
with-
who they are.
Yeah,
You know,
I respect Coldplay a lot.
I do too.
I think they're.
Maroon 5 just trying to create hits. They just
I think
they
it-
just reach for hits.
It's
pretty
like,
much. It's
how
one-
long can Adam Levine look like he's 25? We're
Exactly.
gonna fucking milk it.
Yeah.
and we're just gonna keep pushing.
He's got to
him.
be in his early 40s now.
Easily.
Right?
He looks
Yeah.
great, though.
Yeah, he does. I haven't seen him in a while though. But do they have a new song out or something?
Probably.
Probably.
Fucking know. They
Yeah,
always
I
have a
don't
new
know
song
either.
out, but
Yeah.
they just seem like they're like the pop machine
Yeah.
of like all age groups right now know who Maroon 5 is.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who Maroon 5 is, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm still of the belief that their first album is like the only good album they ever made.
Absolutely. Completely agree. That first album's a classic. It's so
Like
good.
one of my favorites.
Yeah. That is very much this like perfect fusion of so many different genres.
Of like simple pop songwriting.
that like coffee house
Yeah.
feel to it, but there's also jazz elements. There's
But
a lot
then they
of
also-
sevenths and ninth chord.
Yeah.
Ninth chords. It's very like that John Mayer like it was it kind of arose from Dave Matthews Band. Dave Matthews Band. You ever think about like how popular that band was versus like what they were making? Like, you ever hear like ants marching?
Yeah, it's a sick song.
It's a great song. But it's like a fucking violin.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is like a #1 pop song. And then like the 90s was wild.
Yeah.
Wild, dude. It was like fucking like listen to Dave Matthews and how complex that music is sometimes and how they were just this they are a massive band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like Jesus, man. Like I don't think you're ever going to get a band like that can
All these different.
be that wild and just like have like a conga set and like violins playing and it all fits in concert with each other, in a way that's like pop oriented.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, I liked. My dad used to listen to the Everyday album. Mm-hmm. That's got some really good songs on it.
Oh,
and it
yeah.
probably plays into more nostalgia for me because I used to listen to that album a lot when I was with my dad when I was young.
Under the Table and Dreaming.
Maybe.
That's like their first or second record. That was the one that had like all the hits.
Really?
Satellite, Satellite?
Yeah. It's a good song.
God.
and Crash Into Me,
Crash
like
Into
that.
Me.
Like they were making good stuff, but Dave Matthews by himself is not that good. I don't know if you've ever listened to him by himself, but he has like one album that I bought on hard copy just because it was like, oh, it's Dave Matthews, and I'm just gonna buy it. And it's terrible.
Sucks.
It's not good.
Yeah,
it's just boring, and too. It's just not.
You could feel it.
Not into it.
Anticipate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let me look at my Spotify.
Go for it.
Yeah. Oh, you know, you listen to Porter Robinson? I think I told you about Porter Robinson.
I think you sent me a link to that album, and I couldn't get into it.
Couldn't get into it?
No. Is it the... If you show me the album cover, I might be able to tell you, but...
Nurture.
You know, Dijon came out with an album, like...
How was it?
A couple months ago. So did Still Woozy.
Okay.
Still Woozy came out with, like, an album.
Yeah.
And the Dijon's album... It's kind of weird, man.
Really?
Like, he's just kind of a weirdo. But I do really like him. He's... like definitely like up there on my list of. I listened to
Ooh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Leon Bridges.
Yeah, that's good.
One of his albums, his popular one, and
With the red cover?
I think it was yellow.
Okay.
Maybe it was his newest album. I'm not sure, but I was doing some editing up here and I just put it on in the background, so I wasn't like paying attention. But from what I was like clicking in and out of, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, he's good.
Yeah.
He's got a nice voice.
He's got his own niche.
Yeah.
You know? What am I listening to? Man, I said I was listening to a lot of like singer-songwriter shit, and all this shit that I have that's like that's not singer-songwriter shit.
Have you heard there's this song, I think it's called Call You Mine, and it's by Girl in Red.
Yes.
It's pretty popular.
Yes.
I've been fucking loving that song.
That's a great song.
I fucking love that goddamn song, dude.
You know it's another great song?
What? Who is this?
Caroline Polachek.
Send that to me.
So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings. It's exactly what the song is called.
Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah, I will. What else? One more. Let's see if I'll add one more here. Just to give an eclectic. It's just like
Is this Steely Dan?
No. It's Christian Scott.
Oh.
You ever get a chance, dude? Listen to this record he did. Christian Scott.
I love listening to jazz music. Like,
okay, let me
just in passing.
I can recommend you
It's also fucked up my algorithm because every time I go like on what's new released, it's like 14 jazz songs.
I also had a period where I was listening to like old K-pop.
Old K-pop, huh?
Yeah.
I know like BTS is like taking over the world. I don't think I've actually heard one of their songs.
Too overly produced for me.
Are we wrapping this up?
Sounds like it. Kind of feels that way, doesn't it? Anything else to talk about?
I don't know. I had a thought.
We definitely got real good in the conversation.
We did.
There.
I had a thought while I was taking a piss.
Mm-hmm.
You know how people like, oh, there's like so many people in the world, right? Like I don't know, this like storybook of like, you know, the last man on earth and like all the shit and how like we get so annoyed with people. Could you actually imagine if there was nobody on earth? What would be the point? Isn't this whole human fucking experience all about other people? If there weren't other people, like what would you have? Like even if everybody vanished and you still had all your things, what's the fucking point if there's nobody else around?
Right.
I don't know. I was just thinking.
I think that's a good point.
I don't even know what.
I think that's a very good point. All you're doing at that point is you're just like surviving.
Right? Like
that's all you're doing.
That's what this whole thing is about, is other people.
Right.
This whole thing we're doing is all about other people.
Right.
And yet we hate other people. Other people suck.
Yeah.
But like if they weren't there,
we'd be nothing without them.
You'd have nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the strength of weakness.
Wow. Do you ever think about how we're just on this fucking rock hurling through space? Does it give you anxiety?
No.
It gives me a fucking panic attack.
There's something about it. Like, it's just the idea that all that we're doing, you're not as important as you think you are. No. You know what I mean? Having that humility is important. And it's
I think so too.
You know, it's just like,
what does this matter?
What does this matter? And that's the thing, though, is that I think that it's so easy to get like nihilistic about it, but it's also like,
you only got one shot at it.
Yeah,
Make it count.
It's like, okay, you're alive, do what you want to do. Yeah. You know, it's like, I don't know. I have a hard time with nihilistic talk because it's just like
negative.
There's just no point. There's just all this cynical. It's like, yeah, if you want to think that, so be it. But there's all these other people that don't think that, and they seem to be enjoying themselves just a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so easy to put yourself into that into that kind of pit where it's like you can be depressed and all this shit. You know, there's things that can cause depression. Then there's times where it's just like self-induced.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, well, nothing really matters. It's like, but yet here you are and you've watched a movie and you've cried. Or here you are and you've eaten a thing of food and you loved it.
It was
and
a
you
great
enjoyed
meal.
it,
You
right?
enjoyed it, yeah.
Or you enjoyed being with your family. That's what matters. It's your interpretation of what matters. It's your value system. You know what I mean? It's your value pyramid. You know, just like there's like a food pyramid, there's like a fucking
value pyramid.
I don't know. I think I just made that up.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Thanks. I don't, yeah, there's like a value pyramid where it's like you have your priorities about what you value. And when you value something more than another, you're going to choose that thing over the other. So I think that you got this time here. You got to do something with it. And whatever you determine is that thing that you need to do, you need to do it. You know, like right now for me personally, like I am working on something all the time. And you don't have to do that, but that's just like the way I'm wired. Like, you know, like I'm not better or worse than anybody. It's just the way I'm wired and it's what I want. Like my dad's the same way, I realize. My dad is very project oriented as well. It's like he has his projects and he's constantly thinking about them. Mm-hmm. And then when he's not,
he goes crazy. He gets all antsy.
He gets agitated. He'll find something else to think about.
Oh, okay.
And he's never not far away from another idea to think about, you know? And so for me, like I have, you know, I'm doing the real estate thing, right? We're starting this company, trying to write a book. I want to shoot movies.
I'm excited for you to get your book done too.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're getting there. I want to shoot movies. I wrote a short film script.
What the fuck? We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah. I want to shoot a movie. I want to try it. I want to see what it's like.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
I love that you're open to just doing new things. And I'm trying so hard to be like that. Like I'm actively saying yes to things that I normally wouldn't say yes to, or reaching out to people I wouldn't normally reach out to have a conversation. And it's like, I just want, you know, I know this is like really dark kind of, but the whole like deathbed thing.
Yeah.
It's like having a regret just sounds like the worst burden to take with you.
For sure.
Wow. Why didn't I call my grandma more? Why didn't I do that? Because I was shy. She's not going to live forever. Yeah. Nobody does. Yeah. So like, why not do it? Why not try that thing? You know what I mean? Because ultimately you're just going to have a story for it. Like we're all just kind of carrying around these stories and these experiences to share with other people.
Right.
And,
you know, it's also like it's being able to overcome the uncomfortability. Like we don't like to be uncomfortable, and we're even worse at being uncomfortable now than ever because of our phones.
It's true.
We don't have any boredom.
So true.
It always comes full circle.
Yeah, it does.
But it's like the boredom aspect of it. You know what I mean? It's like we cannot be uncomfortable. We're really bad at it, you know? Yeah. And the reality is you need to get good at being uncomfortable. And you need to realize that like it's uncomfortable for a reason. You know, it's like in the cave is the treasure you seek, right? Which is like Joseph Campbell, the hero's journey, essentially. And it's like that thing that's inside of you that you're afraid to enter is where you're
going to find
fate
what you want.
Truly lies in a way, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to find yourself more and more as you keep exploring those caves within yourself that you're afraid to venture into, you know? And that's really important. And that is part of growth. I'm very skeptical of the word growth as you grow as a person, because I don't think you grow as a person spiritually. You know what I mean? You just kind of become more of yourself. But growth is an easy word to say. So you know, you're always becoming yourself, you know? And it takes risks to be able to do that. And it's also like,
do you think people can change? I feel like maybe I'm a bit pessimistic about people like, oh, I'm changed. And just go, no, you're not.
Yeah. I don't think
you're like, maybe you're not going to steal again, right? Like maybe you're not a thief, but like that was in you at one point. Like,
I think it depends on when it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like if you're a teenager, you're like in your early 20s, maybe in your mid 20s, you know, I think that you're still pretty damn young and you don't know a lot of shit. So you can make a really bad mistake. But if you're doing it from that point on, Yeah, I don't think you're gonna change.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the same person. Because it should be like that thing should shock you if it's bad enough to be like, I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then you're never gonna change.
But do you think there's, I guess what you're saying is there's like a different part inside of everybody that just has not been tapped into yet. And that's what this whole thing is. That's what life is trying to do, is like not grow in the sense of like
Becoming more of you.
changing yourself, but becoming more of yourself.
Yeah. I've always been skeptical of that word growth. It's always a weird word to me because it's like what does it mean to grow as a person? You become more evolved, I guess. But evolution is not growth. Evolution is linear.
We could keep talking about this forever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
Easily.
we should probably call it. We've been going for like 2.5 hours.
Some good shit.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
Later.
Later. Bang!